A civil war is being fought over the future of crypto in America, and your capital is right on the front line. Right now, your entire crypto strategy is being held hostage by the political theater in Washington. We're talking billions of dollars in institutional investment and your personal portfolio caught in the crossfire of a battle you might not even realize is happening. And here's the twist. While you might think the only enemy is some anti-crypto politician, the real sabotage is coming from inside the financial system itself. It's what a top advisor is calling the absurdity of banks actively blocking the one piece of legislation that could actually secure their own future. By the end of this briefing, you're going to understand the 3 hidden battlefronts in this war. More importantly, you'll know how to position yourself for the inevitable outcome. This isn't about guesswork, this is about strategic intelligence. Okay, so let's get into battlefront number 1. It's the most visible and honestly the most paralyzed, Washington, D.C. At the very center of this whole mess is something called the Clarity Act. You need to know this. This is the landmark bill that was supposed to finally give the U.S. crypto market the regulatory certainty it's been begging for, the kind of certainty that unlocks trillions in capital. But that act, it's effectively on hold. It's completely dead in the water. And the reason why is just pure political hardball. So here's the inside intelligence, verified from a Truth Social post. President Trump has vowed to veto every single piece of legislation that hits his desk, and that includes the Clarity Act, until Congress passes the Save America Act. Now, that act is all about requiring strict proof of citizenship to vote. The consequence for us is crystal clear. The entire federal crypto agenda is completely paralyzed, held hostage by a political fight that has absolutely nothing to do with crypto. This paralysis is a critical alert you need to be aware of. This is Crypto Global News. Now, if you are watching this without a subscription, you are getting this intelligence late. You're behind. Click subscribe right now to stay on the timeline. So this federal paralysis creates a power vacuum. And that brings us to the second battlefront, which is where the real action is happening right now. To get these updates first, by the way, the QR code is right there on your screen. Join our Telegram using that code or the link down in the description. While Washington is completely frozen, some states are making their move. And Florida? Well, Florida has just become the first state in the entire nation to act decisively. They've gone ahead and passed their own state-level stablecoin law. Look, this is a huge development. It means the states are tired of waiting for DC's dysfunction. They are now actively building their own regulatory frameworks, essentially creating safe havens for crypto innovation. And let's be clear, this isn't about ideology. It's about pure, hard economics. The goal here is simple: attract a slice of the trillion-dollar crypto liquidity pie that is just sitting there, searching for a stable, regulated home. Florida is sending a giant signal to the market saying, bring your capital here. Okay, now for what I think is the most interesting part of this whole story. Battlefront number 3 shows us how traditional finance is literally shooting itself in the foot, revealing a critical and frankly shocking vulnerability. Which brings us to the central paradox of this whole conflict. Why on earth are banks actively trying to sabotage the one bill that could actually save them? All right, let's break down this flawed logic, and this comes from Intel via Patrick J. Witt. Step 1, the fear. The big banking cartel is blocking the Clarity Act. Why? Because they're terrified of deposit flight, money flying out of their traditional bank accounts and into higher yield stablecoins. But step 2, this is the reality. If the bill fails because of their lobbying, there will be absolutely no restrictions at all on what kind of massive rewards can be offered on stablecoins. They will have made their own worst nightmare a guaranteed reality. It's a catastrophic, self-inflicted wound, fueled by nothing more than short-sighted fear. They are literally creating the very monster they claim to be afraid of. I really want to know what you think about this. Drop your own analysis in the community post for this explainer. And this huge mistake by the banks, it illustrates the fourth and final front in this war. And it's a fundamental power shift that they just seem completely unable to grasp. And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. The former chairman of the CFTC, Chris Giancarlo, said it plain as day. Traditional banks need the Clarity Act far more than the crypto industry does. This isn't some crypto influencer talking. This is one of the highest-ranking former regulators in the country. I mean, just look at the contrast. It's stark. On one side, you have traditional finance, legally paralyzed. Their general counsels will not let them invest the billions needed to upgrade their ancient systems without absolute regulatory certainty, the very certainty they are helping to block. And on the other side, you have the crypto industry, innovating globally, completely unrestricted, just building the future with or without their permission. The conclusion here is pretty much inescapable. This sovereign shift is happening. Capital, innovation, it's all flowing to the jurisdictions that offer clarity, and it's happening with or without Washington's approval. So, you see, the real question isn't if the financial system will fundamentally shift to a digital-first model. The question is, who is going to be left behind when it does? And believe me, this is just the beginning. The next major move we're tracking involves a coalition of states you would never expect, and they're forming an alliance that could make this whole federal debate completely irrelevant. So like, share, and subscribe to get that briefing the moment it drops. You will not want to miss how this alliance changes the entire game. And for all of our US viewers, if you want to see exactly where your specific state stands on crypto legislation, to see if it's positioning itself to lead or just be left behind, click the card on your screen right now.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.